Teaching your toddler or preschooler at home doesn't have to be difficult. In this video, I'm sharing 9 easy ways that I teach my toddler and preschooler at home as a former preschool and kindergarten teacher. The best part is that you don't need any curricula, apps, or worksheets to do it. So if you want to know more, then don't move a muscle. There are 5 key areas of child development that you should be constantly thinking about when interacting with your child throughout your day. They are language and vocabulary development, fine motor development, which is the development of the small muscle groups like hands and fingers, gross motor development, which is the development of large muscle groups like your arms, legs, and torso, cognitive development, which has to do with the development of your child's brain and how they think about and explore their world around them. And then there's social emotional development, which is the development of your child's self-awareness, how they interact with others, and how they manage their emotions. Now, what's really cool is you can look at something that your child does, and they're probably hitting one of these areas of development in what they're doing during a given day. So simply talking is developing language. Playing with blocks is developing fine motor skills. Walking or running is gross motor. Counting is cognitive, and talking about their feelings is social emotional. And a lot of these overlap into other categories. My point is that young children are learning all the time, so you don't have to put a ton of thought into teaching them at a super young age. Now, that's not to say that you can't be intentional with how you structure your day and the little things you do in order to enhance the learning process. So the first thing I do is talk to my kids a lot. My 3.5-year-old Luke has a very extensive vocabulary for his age, and that's largely because my husband and I always talk to him like we would an adult. Don't be afraid to use big words with kids. You may have to explain them, but expose them to them and steer clear of baby talk. You'll be amazed at how much they pick up simply by you talking. Another thing I do is explain things in a way my toddler or preschooler can understand. So like I said, I may say things the way I'd say them to another adult, but then explain them in a way that my kids will understand for their age. There is still a language barrier here at this age sometimes. So by explaining things in a different way, you'll not only ensure that your child understands what you're saying, but you'll expose them to a different way of saying it, which will create all of those beautiful, precious neural connections that happen like crazy at this young age. Now, along with telling them something, you want to show them. Modeling is a huge way that children learn, especially in those toddler and preschool years. So for example, I wanted my younger son Nolan to put his plate in the dishwasher the other day. Instead of telling him, put your plate in the dishwasher, I opened it up and I said, put your plate in the dishwasher, watch me. And I showed him how to do it. So this will allow your child to have a clear picture of how to do something, which will allow them to learn it faster. I also try to use modeling as much as possible for how I want my kids to behave. I'm sure if you have a toddler or a preschooler, then you know how they tend to copy or say things that we say, good and bad. For example, in order to teach them manners, I simply modeled the use of please and thank you. And they picked up on it. Thank you. Thank you. You don't have to explicitly teach a lot of things to kids. They'll simply pick things up just by watching you. So try to remember that next time you drop something or get angry. They're watching how you react and handle those types of situations to know how to act themselves. The next thing I do is ask questions to encourage higher level thinking. So I do this more with my 3.5-year-old simply because he's older. So if we're reading a story, for example, I'll ask what he thinks the book is about based off of the front cover and the title. Or I'll ask him why he thinks something in order to have him elaborate his answers more. Or to explain his Lego creation to me and why he did what he did. For my 1.5-year-old, I will model this for him a bit. So for example, I'll extend his language for him. If he says car, I'll say, yeah, you see the big blue car? Is that car fast? And then he'll take his car and he'll zoom it across the floor to show me how fast it is. So again, there's that modeling coming into play. The next tip I have is for social emotional development. We always talk about our feelings, and I'll help my kids label and identify their emotions as they experience them throughout the day. We absolutely love using a calming corner for this. I do have these posters available for purchase, and they do come with a free mini course about setting up a calming corner in your home. But helping your child identify what they're feeling is a huge part of emotional intelligence, which is extremely important for them to develop from a young age. I'll also read books specifically about emotions or point out different emotions that characters may be experiencing as we read books. So all of these help young children to better understand feelings and emotions. I'll leave a link to some of our favorite books on emotions down in the description box for you. One thing is for sure, toddlers and preschoolers are learning all of the time. If you are trying to teach your toddler or preschooler at home, this does not have to look like formal school, sitting down, doing worksheets, and following a curriculum. I love to weave learning opportunities as they come up naturally throughout the day. So for example, when my kids are playing, I'll count their cars with them. I may do simple addition or subtraction with my older son. I have 2 cars over here and 2 more drive up. Let's count how many I have now. My younger son started counting recently just on his own, and he really enjoys it. So I'll take that and I'll run with it. I'll ask him to count his blocks, or I'll name the colors for him as he's building with them.
Blue.
Yellow.
Yellow.
Blue. Yellow.
Yellow.
Blue. Red. Black. Kids learn best in natural situations throughout the day and when they're playing. So don't put too much pressure on yourself when it comes to their learning. And you don't have to drill them either. Like I said, weave this throughout the day as it comes up naturally. Also, follow their lead. If they're not into answering something, don't push it. They learn best when they have the motivation from within to do so. The next thing I do is involve my toddler and preschooler in everyday tasks around the house. This gives them a sense of purpose and belonging and helps to foster independence and responsibility from a young age. So for a younger toddler, this can be things like cleaning up their messes, picking up their toys, helping with laundry, watering plants, or putting their plate in the dishwasher, while an older preschool child may do things like make their own bed, use a handheld vacuum, load and unload the dishwasher, or set the table, just to name a few things. Like I said a minute ago, kids learn best through play. Play is a huge part of child development. And when I say play, I'm referring to a child-directed free play where they're in a state of flow and deep concentration. We allow lots of opportunities for free play in our home because, like I said, this is truly the way that young children learn best. So as a parent, you can provide a safe, rich play environment for your kids. I have a few videos about play that I will link in the description box for you, including important things to know about play as a parent, how to easily implement a toy rotation in your home, and how to get your child to play independently. The bottom line is, do not underestimate the power that play has when it comes to your child's learning experience and development, because it is a powerful and critical component. With that being said, I am a former preschool and kindergarten teacher, so I also do love some structured activities from time to time. I will set up activities every once in a while that will support my boys' areas of development and invite them to take part in them. It's important to note that every child is different when it comes to participating in more structured activities. Some kids love them, some kids have no interest, some completely make the activity their own, and for some, it depends on the day. This is all fine. Follow your child's lead. I have tons of toddler and preschool activities that will help foster your child's development across all 5 areas I mentioned in this video. So definitely make sure to check out the description box and my channel for those, and make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss any new ones. I really focus on sharing fun and engaging activities that will hopefully hold your child's interest and not take super long for you as the parent to set up, because I know how disheartening it can be to put so much effort into setting up an activity only for your child to play with it for literally 2 minutes or not even at all. Just remember that this is like a muscle for them. The more that you set things up, the more they want to participate, and as they grow, so will their interest. A bonus note I want to mention here is to incorporate lots of sensory play. I love sensory bins and sensory activities for kids, not only because they tend to be really fun and engaging, but there is so much learning taking place across all areas of development. So keep that in mind and check out some of my sensory play ideas on my channel to see what your child may be interested in. Remember, no app or workbook can teach your toddler or preschooler as much as real life experiences, your presence, conversation, and good old-fashioned play. It's really easy to get lost in the noise of marketing and technology telling you that you need these types of things in order to teach your young child, but that's simply not true. Children are natural learners. So it's our job as parents to just facilitate that and nurture that. Please give this video a thumbs up if it helped, share it with a friend, drop a comment below, and let me know what your biggest aha moment was from the video. And don't forget to subscribe for more ways to love your life with littles. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.